Hello. Yes, we're on. Hi. Okay. So we're here. It's Monday night. We're just getting started on our sequestering. So things are going to be quiet around here for a little while, but we'll be here. We have each other. We can get through this together. So it's looking like we had a couple of weeks of keeping things shut down and us interacting this way virtually. So we'll just, get used to our new routine and maybe have some time to just chill and maybe read or catch up on some sleep, hang out with the fam. We gotta make lemonade out of this pandemic. So anyway, we're here. Let's practice. I was just talking to Kelly. I'll practice so much now. Normally, I just kind of boss you guys around, and I don't do so much. But I'll demo, and I'll practice along with you guys. I'm not sure if I can turn the camera sideways. I think it makes everything sideways on Facebook, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll explore this together. I may need to back up a little bit if I turn sideways for you guys to see everything, but in any case, hopefully you can hear me okay, and everyone's doing okay. If you have anything in particular that you want to do, if you're with me right now, feel free to type it in the chat there, and I'll weave it into the flow. All right, so why don't you start by lying down, just lie on your back, relax, get comfortable, melt your shoulder blades down away from your ears. Let your shoulders relax down towards the floor. And just let your body be heavy. Take a moment here to just feel the earth beneath you. Feel the steadiness, the certainty, right? Some things are still reliable, right? Right, we need, I think, some grounding right now. It's such an uncertain time. For most of us, we haven't experienced this before, right? No. And that fear can really bring things up, stir things up. So it helps to find our roots, right? To find our ground, to get into our bodies, right? This is our connection. So we move around, we feel our bodies, and it helps us to get out of the chatter, the chitti vritti, if you will. Just the turning, the stories. Right, and there's so many stories when things are so uncertain. So many stories. So this moment, and using our bodies and being present in our bodies, is really the refuge, our safe haven from all of this, right? All right, so we come into the breath. If you're not already breathing your Ujjayi breath, let's come into that right now. Steady inhale. Steady exhale. Just letting the breath flow in flow out. Soft brushing sound at the back of the throat. Just a few more rounds. Right, trying to just shake this story. Let it go. Each time the mind starts to throw something at you that's not this breath, that's not this moment, right? Notice it, see it, and let it go. Steady breath. And gently start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And feel the body. Just start to wake yourself up. Circle your wrists, your ankles. Right, feel your parts. Maybe there's a couple cracks or two. It's all good. Stretch your arms overhead. Stretch your legs. Right, wake yourself up. All right, and then hug your knees in towards your chest. Give them a soft squeeze. Right, rock a little bit side to side. And take your knees over to the left and reach your right arm out to the right. Take a breath or two here, just softening in. Bringing the knees back up to center. Inhale to the middle. Exhaling the knees over to the other side. And again, just dropping in, soften, melt the shoulder towards the floor. Lengthen the top hip away so your low back has some space, the top hip more on top of the bottom hip instead of kind of tipped up towards the waist. Back to center. Gather the knees. Let's reach the heels up towards the ceiling. Stretch the backs of your legs. Right, just give yourself plenty of time to warm up. Open the legs out wide. Stretch out through the heels. All right, bringing the legs back up together. Let's rock and roll forward and back a time or two. We'll come up to seated. And we'll take a moment, getting comfortable. Right, and feel free to sit up on something. If you have a prop at home that you want to sit up on, feel free to do that. Sitting tall, cross-legged, sit on your shins, your knees. Turn the palms out. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pressing the palms, pulling the hands through the midline. Let's do that again. Turn the palms out. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pressing the palms, pulling the hands through center. And even though we can't hear each other, let's take an Om together. Inhale. Hands at your heart, drop your gaze, close your eyes if you like. Set an intention for your practice this evening. Right, and you can have any intention that you like, right? Any intention that you like. But maybe let's also offer up our practice. Right? Part of our 8 limbs of yoga is Ishvara Pranidhana, one of the niyamas, Ishvara Pranidhana, right? We offer it up, right? We give it away, really to God, but that God can be anything, right? And so for us tonight, right, we offer up our practice to the greater good, to healing for all, for the world, for everybody everywhere, right? Or maybe the people in your neighborhood, or whoever you want to offer it up to. But I think the world could use all the good vibes, right? All the good vibes. So maybe let's offer up our practice tonight to the greater good. All right. Releasing the hands down, opening your eyes. Let's reach up. Inhale, take a big stretch. Exhale, take it over to the right. Lean, open up. Maybe turn the gaze up. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, over the other way. Stretch it out, soften the shoulder down. Maybe the gaze going up towards the ceiling. Back up to center, reach both arms up, stretch up, maybe look up, inhale. Exhale, releasing the arms down. Let's switch the cross of the legs. Stretch up again. Interlace your fingers. Turn the palms inside out, pressing up. Press up through the thumbs, the index finger. Get tall, soften the ribs in. Keep the interlace, go forward. Round the upper back, let the shoulder blades broaden. Shoulders down, away from your ears. And gently releasing that, bring your hands behind your back, interlace, put the other thumb on top, the opposite pinky under. Reach the knuckles back and down. Lift the chin up. Take a breath here. And gently bringing the chin down towards your chest. Stretch the back of the neck. And releasing. Give the shoulders a little shake. All right, let's do some cat-cow. So I'm just gonna back up a little bit so I can actually also be sideways. So cat-cow yourselves. Here we go, coming onto hands and knees. Use the inhale to lift the chest, lift the sit bones. Exhale, rounding the spine, tailbone under. Inhale again, lift the chest. Exhale to round. Press through the hands 2 more times. Inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, pulling the belly in, drop the head. 1 more like that. Lift up. Round. Coming back to center. Centered spine. Neutral spine, if that makes more sense. Bringing the knees a little close. Send the right leg back. Reach your left arm forward. Balance here for a moment. Press the floor away. Lifting up out of the bottom shoulder. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull it in and round. Inhale, stretch and get long. Exhale, round the spine, hollow out. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, stretch 2 more times. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. 1 more like that. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, stretch, and bring the hand down and the knee down and sit back for a moment and just feel the feels. Notice. I'm going to take this sweatshirt off. All right, we're going to do the other side, of course. So hands and knees. Hugging the belly in, send the left leg back. Reach your right arm forward. Right, keep the belly lifted, like you're. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, let's do 2 more times. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. 1 more. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, stretch. I hope you did that 5 times. Do it again if you did it. Inhale. And come on down, hand down, knee down. Sit back onto the floor, child's pose. So this will be a great place for you to take a break, child's pose. Anytime you need it. I just want to make sure. Hi, Chris. Hi, Tara. Okay. Right, anytime you need it, child's pose. All right. Come on up. Walk your hands a little forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Press back into down dog.
Pedal the heels a time or two, shake out your head. Right, how does everything feel?
Just want to read actually. Okay, just making sure.
Right, downward facing dog. Love down dog. And see if you can settle in for a breath or two. Can you find some steadiness? Smooth out your breath. Steady your gaze. So many things that are out of our control. So many things that we cannot control. But what can we do right now? We can control our breath. We can steady the body. Use the body to steady the mind. Inhale forward to plank pose. Hug the belly in. Press evenly through the hands. Right, arms as straight as they'll go. Tailbone to the heels. Right, press the thigh bones to the ceiling. Take another breath here. Use the next exhale to lower to the floor. Bend your elbows. You can drop your knees. All right, feel free to have the knees down. Flatten the feet. Reach your hands back. Inhale, Shalabhasana. Lift the head, the chest. Lift your legs. Exhale, come on down. Again, inhale, lift up. Curl the tailbone under. Exhale, lower on down. Again, inhale, come up. Exhale, lower down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Hug the legs in. Inhale, press the thighs away from the floor. Reach your hands back. Exhale, melt to the floor. 1 more time. Inhale, come up. Reach the arms overhead. Stay lifted. Press the thighs to the ceiling. Lift the chest a little higher. And come on down. Waggle the hips a little bit. Soften. Good. I feel like I'm getting a little out of the shot there. All right. Plant your palms by your ribs. Tuck your toes. Take an inhale. Exhale, pressing the floor away. You can come to plank pose or hands and knees. Back to downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Take a breath or 2 here. I'm just trying to see, can you see me? Can you see me? Okay, good. Stretch back. Inhale. Exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk, float, feet to hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold back down, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach for the sky. Exhale, the hands to the heart. Take a breath. Just notice. Feel the feels. Releasing the hands down. Turning the palms out. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, up and over, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step your right foot back. Big step back. Drop the back knee, flatten the foot, sweep up, Anjaneyasana, reach up. Exhale, bring it on down. Tuck the back toes, lift the knees, step back, plank. Breath or 2 here. All right, knees, chest, chin, drop the knees. Chest to the floor, right between your thumbs, chin to the floor. Take a breath here, hug the belly in. Flatten your feet, melt the hips down, lift your chest up, cobra pose. Downward facing dog, tuck your toes, lift your hips. All right, send your right leg up and back into the air. Take a stretch, turn the toes out, lift the hip, bend your knee. Enjoy the stretch. So nice. Straighten the legs, square your hips off. Inhale. Exhale, round the spine. Squeeze into a little ball. Touch your knee to your nose or your forehead, or just get really close. Step your foot between your hands. Drop the back knee down. Flatten the foot, come up. Inhale. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck the back toes, lift the knees, step forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up, stretch up, look up. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, hands are down. Left foot takes a big step back. Drop the back knee, sweep up, Anjaneyasana. Inhale up. Exhale into the twist. Bring your left hand to the floor. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Come up into your lunge twist. Reach the top arm up to the sky. Down to the floor. Step back plank. Tailbone to the heels. Press the floor away. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga Asana. Breath here. Melt the hips down. Lift the chest. Cobra pose. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Send your left leg up into the air. Turn the toes out. Lift the hip and the knee. Stretch. Enjoy that. Right. Straighten the legs. Square your hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, knee to your nose. Round the spine. Squeeze into a little ball. Look forward. Step your foot between your hands. Drop the back knee down. Come up, Anjaneyasana. Inhale. Exhale. Plant the right hand. Tuck the right toes. Lift the knee. Come into your lunge twist. Reach the left arm up into the air. Press the floor away. Inhale. Exhale, the hand comes down. Step the right foot to the top of the mat. Step up. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. All the way up. Exhaling through the middle. Keep going. Hands down, palms out. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, hands down. Again, the right foot steps back. This time into your crescent lunge. Soft bend the back knee. Lift up. Stretch up. Maybe look up. Inhale. Exhale. Take it down. Hands to the floor. Step the front foot back. You're back in your plank pose. Arms straight. Tailbone to the heels. Hopefully you're breathing. Lengthen forward, inhale. Maybe chaturanga, bend your elbows. To upward facing dog, straighten your arms, lift your chest. Exhale. Downward facing dog. All right, send the right leg up into the air, inhale. Exhale, pull the knee in towards your nose, round the spine, squeeze. Step the foot all the way forward between your hands. Crescent pose, rise. All the way up. All the way back down, hands to the floor. Step the left foot to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up from the glutes. Reach for the sky. Fold back down. Exhale, arms wide. Hinge at the hips. Empty the breath. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, hands down. Left foot. Step it back. Crescent pose. Rise up. Stretching for the sky. Breathe here. I'm going to turn. All right. Open the arms. Palms to the ceiling. Reach the pinkies up. We're going to turn towards the right. Rotate. Reach your right hand towards the back. Right? Reach for the wall behind you. Reach the left hand forward. Spread your wings. Take one more breath. Bring it back to center. Back. Reach up. Maybe look up. Inhale. Exhale. Come on down. Woo, hands to the floor. Step back. Find your plank pose. Good. Breathe. Tailbone to the heels. Inhale. Exhale, Vinyasa. Bend the elbows. Lift the chest. Right, gaze down at the tops of your cheeks to downward facing dog. Left leg up, inhale. Exhale, squeeze into a little ball. Tiny. Step your foot between your hands. Crescent pose. Rise. Lift the hip bones up. Open the arms. Pinky edges of the hands up towards the ceiling. Right, wrap them up. Take an inhale. Exhale, turn. Spread your wings. Right, reach the left arm behind you. Reach the right arm forward. Maybe turn your gaze towards the back arm. Take another breath. You're wide across the chest. Rotate back to center. Reach up. Maybe look up. Inhale. Exhale. Step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Take a breath. Whew, drop your gaze to your fingertips. Pause here briefly. Inhale. Sigh it out, exhale. Release your hands down. Open your eyes. Well, I guess you don't have to open your eyes. Turn the palms out, stretch up, inhale. Fold, exhale, hinge. Empty the breath. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, bend the knees, hands are down. Step back, maybe jump back. Through the vinyasa you go. So you can drop your knees and lower to the floor and do cobra pose, right? Or do chaturanga, an upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. I'm just going to check in with the comments. Make sure nothing crazy is going on. Okay, good. Just making sure. One more breath. Stretch back. Inhale. Exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk, float, feet to hands. Lift up halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise, inhale. Firming the glutes all the way up. Exhale. Keep going, hands down, palms out, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, hands down. So again, you can step back, you can jump back, chaturanga, upward facing dog, lower to the floor and do cobra pose if that's better for you. Downward facing dog. All right, one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees, walk, float, feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold, exhale. All the way up, inhale. Hands to the heart, exhale. Inhale. Release the hands down, exhale. It's time for Utkatasana. Bend the knees. Try and touch the floor. Then reach the arms up and overhead. Right, so we do want to sit into the pose. So press the thigh bones down. Press your thigh bones into the backs of your legs. Right, as if, right, pressing through the thigh bones. Lengthen the sit bones towards the back edge of your mat. And as you do that, lengthening back, can you lift up a little bit with the frontal hip bones? And start to lift the gaze up. And reach up through the fingertips. Right? Yes, we're rooting down. Right? Yes, we need our base. We need that strong foundation. But, right, we don't want to get stuck. We don't want to get rooted there too heavily. So we root down, and then we use that rooting down to find our way and lengthen up. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Take a breath in the fold. Inhale, lift the chest halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees, hands are down. Step or jump it back. You can even skip the vinyasa altogether and go straight to down dog, right? Any vinyasa that you like. All right, send your right leg up into the air. Inhale. Exhale, pull the knee forward, round and round. Step it through, warrior one. Back heel to the floor, rise up. So a couple of breaths here, right? Press through the back heel. Really root it down. Back leg straight as best as you can. Draw the outer thigh on the left side forward. And as you do that, right, as you draw the whole left hip forward, bring the left ribs forward, the left shoulder forward, right, squaring off to the front of the room. And here too, rooting down, right, front thigh bone descending down towards the floor. Can I use this earth energy, this rooting down into the earth, to grow up, to lengthen up, to get a little taller? Inhale, exhale, hands come down. Spin to the ball, step the front foot back. Again, your choice of vinyasa, right? Knees, chest, chin. Right, that's fine too. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, inhale. Pull it through, exhale, round the spine, step forward. Warrior one. You know we'll take several breaths here. The front thigh lengthens back, right? Both outer hips actually lengthening towards that same center place. That outer left hip pulling back, right? But towards this midline, right? The outer right hip going forward, but again, to the center, right where I am, right to the middle, lifting the hip bones, reaching up, lengthening up, rooting strongly through the feet. And again, using that energy of the earth, rooting down to get tall, right? Reaching for the sky. Take another breath, bend deeper, descend the left thigh bone towards the floor. Inhale, take it down, exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back. Your choice of vinyasa. Maybe you rest for a breath or two in child's pose. I'm gonna grab a sip of water. Hang out in down dog for 1 second. Well, there's no water, except for my water bottle is empty. All right, downward facing dog. How's the breath? One more here, inhale. Exhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees, walk, float feet to hands, halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise, bend the knees, my bad. Utkatasana. Right, hug the belly to the spine. Lengthen back through the sit bones. Take one more breath here. Can you sit a little deeper? Lift the heart a little higher. Press and rise, inhale. Release the arms, exhale. Take a breath here. Okay, we're gonna keep this show on the road. All right, stand tall, Tadasana. Inhale, exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Sitting back into the heels. 2 more breaths here. Hug the ribs in and lengthen up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, hands are down. Step back, float back through the vinyasa. Back to downward facing dog. Send the right leg up into the air, inhale. Exhale, step through. Warrior one, come up. Warrior two, hands to your heart, narrow the stance. Side to side, right? So really what we're after is heel to heel. So from this way, right, you can appreciate how wide. Same action in the outer hips, right? The outer right hip pulling back and in, right? As much as the inner thigh lengthens forward, we want to feel that lengthening away, if you can anyway, right? Feel that lengthening with the inner thighs. And a gathering in of the outer hips. The outer right hip hugging in, the outer left hip hugging in. So as much as the inner thigh's lengthening away, my outer hips gathering back, right? Affirming of the glutes. Maybe bend a little deeper. Take a breath in the reverse, sweep it up and back. Come back up, inhale. Utthita Parsvakonasana. So let's start forearm to knee. Reach the top arm up and over, right? Like you're trying to stretch the upper arm and make the whole left side longer, right? As if you could. Root through the back heel, the pinky edge. Maybe gazing up at the ceiling. Gather the belly, hug the ribs in. Strengthen the legs, really squeeze your glutes. Reach the right arm forward. Stay reaching forward, leaning forward, right? Like you're passing a big beach ball forward. Firm the outer right hip under. All right, maybe this time the right hand can come down to the floor. Or if it doesn't reach the floor, you can always use, if you have a block at home, a block, or maybe a couple of books, or I don't know, something, couple rolls of toilet paper. Press into your back foot. Let's stand it up. All the way up, warrior two. Flip the palm back into your reverse. Heart to the sky. Come back up, inhale. Hands to the floor, exhale. Stepping back. Pause in your plank. Melt the shoulder blades down your back. We're coming onto the forearms. Right forearm, left forearm. Forearm plank pose. Curl the tailbone under. Pull the belly in. Press the floor away. Steady the breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sphinx pose. Knees down, flatten the feet. Hips down, chest up. Whew. Right, breathe here. 2 more breaths. Curl the tailbone under. And then root through the hands and the forearms and try and draw your heart forward a little more. And then down, all the way down. Rest for a moment here. Little waggle of the hips side to side. Okay, back up onto your forearms. Back into our forearm plank pose. So tucking the toes. Peel the front of the body off the floor. Find your forearm plank. Bring the big toes to touch. Spin to the pinky edge of your right foot. Reach the left arm up. Forearm Vashisthasana. Lift the hips away from the floor. Right, lifted, lifted. Maybe looking up. Woo! Take 1 more breath. You're gonna plant the left hand on the floor. Come back onto your toes and press yourself up to plank. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Sigh the breath out, shake your head out, right? Remember why we're doing this. Right, for the greater good, for everyone. Warrior 1. Left leg. Left leg, of course. Right heel to the floor, come up. Right, that moment. And then, okay, I'm gonna turn forward so you're not just looking at the back of me, but line your heels up. And then again, that outer hip pulling back, right, wide. Shoulders over your hips. We like to lean, it's easy to lean. Can we lift the shoulders, well, I guess pulling back. So shoulders are over the hips. And then, right, so I'll go this way. That same action, that firming in action, the outer hip here, hugging back and in, right? The lengthening of the inner thigh. And then that outer back leg hip, same, hugging in, drawing in, pulling me to center, even as my inner thighs are lengthening away, right? The front inner thigh lengthening forward, the back leg inner thigh kind of spiraling in and back. There's a little rotation back there. Okay, arms wide. Breathe. Can we descend through that front leg thigh bone any more than you already are? Only you know the answer to that. Try. All right, take the reverse. Flip the palm. Reach it up and back. Oh, open up. And then into our Uttita Parsvakonasana. So elbow to knee. I got to scooch my front foot back a little bit. Forearm to knee, I should say. And then the right arm up and over. Right, so I'm reaching overhead. The upper arm over the ear. Right, gazing up towards the ceiling. Press into the back foot. Right, give it a good push. Outer left hip, hugging back and in. Engage your abs. Hug the belly, strengthen the legs. Reach your left hand forward like you're passing a giant beach ball. Right, reach, pull the left hip under. As you open your arms, hand to the floor, or a block, or books, or whatever you have handy. Uttita Parsvakonasana, the full pose. One more breath. Lift it back up. Keep the bend in the front knee. Into the reverse. Lift up, inhale, and let it go. Exhale, well, sort of, to plank. Tailbone under. Right, back down onto your forearms. Left forearm down. Right forearm down. Forearm plank pose. Tailbone under. Low belly lifting. Support your lower back. Lengthen the heart forward. Lengthen back through your heels. 2 more breaths here. Press the floor away. Last breath. Sphinx pose. Knees down. Feet flat. Hips down. Chest up. Maybe lift a little higher. Shoulders down. Right, drawing the heart forward and up. Maybe soft gaze onto your cheeks. And melt it down. All the way down. So we have our forearm plank and forearm Vashisthasana on the other side. So back up onto our forearms. Right, shoulders away from the neck. Curl the toes under. Peel yourself up off the floor. Tailbone long. Big toes touch. Spin to the pinky edge of your left foot. Reach your right arm up into the air. Press the floor away. Lift your hips. Feel the squeeze on the left side. Yes. Take one more breath here. Reach up. Maybe look up. Oh, right hand on the floor. Back onto your toes, the balls of the feet to plank. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Whew. Breathe here. Couple breaths. Press the floor away. Strongest legs. Press those thighs back. So good, everyone. One more big breath here. Stretch back, inhale. Exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk, float, feet to hands, halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale, bend the knees. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Right, all right. Sitting back into the heels. You guys are making me work too hard. What are you doing? Reach up. Firm the glutes. Let's stand up into tree pose. So we're going to stand on the right leg, pick the left foot up. Just let it go wherever it goes. Just let it go wherever it goes. It's totally fine. Right, pressing the foot into the leg. The leg into the foot. Right, they're pushing into each other. One more breath. Just like this. And we're going to bend the right knee and step the left foot all the way back like warrior one. Good. Bringing your hands to your heart. Turn sideways. So you're turning to the left and you're going to parallel your feet. I'm going to turn to face you just so you can see. All right, so you're standing this way. Hands on your hips. Prasarda Padottanasana. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale into the fold. Crown of the head to the floor. Hands to the floor. So I'm going to turn back sideways. Hands to the floor if you can. Right, pull them back. Crown of the head to the floor. Someday, you're gonna press up into tripod headstand, right? Maybe not right now, but someday. All right, if you did press up, come back down. Inhale, lift the chest, come halfway up. Bring your hands to your hips. Come the rest of the way up. Okay, turn your right foot and leg to face forward. So you're gonna rotate the whole thigh in the hip socket, right? Turning. Pick your left heel up and pop it back. So coming into triangle pose, back onto my mat so you can see what's happening. Right, triangle pose, arms wide. Draw the right hip under, reach forward. Hug the belly to the spine. Lengthen. Bottom hand down, top arm up. Straight up. Right, can you stack your shoulders? Can you get the top thumb right over your mouth as you look up? The same action in the outer hips here. The outer right hip hugging in, the outer left hip hugging in, right, even with all this length and stretch in the legs. Take one more breath here. We're heading into Ardha Chandrasana. So, a couple of options here. Top hand can stay reaching, you can bring your hand to your hip. I'm gonna keep my arm up. Bottom hand reaches forward. You can step in a couple times or just go for one big step and see what happens. Right, reach wide. Tailbone long, abs engaged. Right, ribs in, hip bones lifting. Top arm reaching up. Maybe the gaze lifting up towards the top thumb. Take one more breath here. Shine it wide. Hug the outer right hip in. All right, slowly bringing the top hand to the floor. Square the hips. Oh, your outer right hip loves that. Right, lift the chest, lengthen forward. Invigorate that back leg. Just for a couple of breaths. Whoa. Can you lift your hands up off the floor? Out wide or even overhead, warrior three. 3, 2, 1. Chair pose, bend the knees. Land. Press and rise. Let it go. Take a breath. Shake it out. The good news is we only have 2 sides, right? And the second side's always easier. We know this. We know this. Okay. We know this. All right, so we started that whole thing in chair pose. Stand tall. Inhale. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Lift the chest, keep the bend. Right, okay, I'll come back this way. So this time we'll stand on the left leg, of course, and pick the right foot up. So standing strong, don't use your hand, just pick your foot up wherever it goes, it's fine. Your legs are strong, your knee is strong. Right, push your leg into your foot into your leg. Right, breathe here. Tailbone lengthening down, reaching up. Again, find your root, right, which is your foot pressing down into the floor. Root that down to grow your tree taller. Take one more breath. Fantastic. Warrior one, bend. Reach it back. Just for a moment. That's it. Okay. Hands to heart. We'll turn the other way. Turn, parallel the feet. So you want to be kind of wide, right? I'm going to turn again so you can see, but hopefully you're managing all of this on your mats. Hands on the hips. This time we'll keep our hands on our hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale into the fold. Crown of the head towards the floor. So your hands just stay on your hips. This is the B variation of Prasarita Padottanasana. Lift the shoulders. Shoulder blades lift up away from the floor. Kneecaps lift up. Thighs active. Head heavy. One more breath. Lift the chest, squeeze your glutes, come all the way up. Yes. So this time left leg, right? Left toes turn. Turn, outer left hip hugs back and in. Pick the right heel up and drop it back. Right, arms wide. Pull the left hip under. Reach, 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 reach. When you can't reach anymore, let the bottom hand come down. It doesn't matter how low it gets, right? It's not about that. Stay wide. Stay open across the chest. We tend to lean, right? We'll come forward. Open, lean. If you need to lift up to open the chest, then lift up to open the chest, right? That's more important than getting your hand low, right? Firm the glutes. Firm the outer hips. Yeah, breathe into the stretch. Look up if you can. Take one more breath here. See that top thumb, get it right over your mouth. Turn the gaze down. So you have those same options of hand to the hip or keeping the top arm reaching. Reach through the left hand forward. The back foot can step in or, too big. One big step. So what's the worst that happens if you don't make it? You just saw. Nothing happens, right? You just keep going. You just keep going. Breathe. Lift the hip bones up. Soften the ribs in, right? It's okay if you don't make it. We learn a lot when we don't succeed, right? Failure is a great teacher. If we let it, right? If we let it teach you. One more breath, maybe looking up at the top thumb. Bringing the top hand, down towards the floor. Turn, square those hips off. All right, here comes the fun part. Lengthen the heart forward. Can you pick your hands up? Bring your hands to your heart. Melt the shoulder blades down. Maybe the arms out wide or even overhead. Hug the ribs in. 3, 2, 1. Chair pose. Bend the knees, maybe look up. And fold in half into the full Uttanasana. Shake your head out. Relax your shoulders. Breathe here. Soften. Okay. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees. Hands are down. Step back. Jump back. I'm going to take an easy vinyasa. Lift the chest. Back to down dog. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Hugging the ribs in. Stretch back. Just get nice and long. Enjoy that stretch. Okay. Send the right leg up into the air. Inhale. Exhale. Round the spine. Step your foot between your hands. I hope I'm not messing with you by facing the other way. Let me face towards you right now anyway. Okay. Come up into the crescent pose. Yeah. Back to this guy. Okay. Bring your hands to your heart. Lengthen forward. Try and press your back leg straight. Right? Get long forward. Shoulder blades down. Take an inhale. Exhale. Hook the elbow outside the knee. Right? Then press the back thigh. Press the back thigh to the ceiling. Rotate the chest. Try and get your thumbs to the middle of your chest. Maybe opening the arms. Bottom hand to the floor. Top arm to the sky. Reach up. Hair in my mouth. All right, if you're feeling confident here, and if your bottom hand is on the floor, maybe bring your right hand also to the floor and just lean out into the Ekapada Kundanyasana A. Find that for a breath or two, right? Chaturanga, upward facing dog. That didn't work out, don't worry about it. Just take a vinyasa. I know, you may have ended up sideways, so just get back onto your mat, wherever you are. All right. We're going to do that on the other side. All right, so send your left leg up into the air. Inhale. Exhale. Round and pull it through. Come on up, crescent. Find a pose, a couple of breaths. So I'll face this way again. Yeah. So, you know, it doesn't matter whether you actually do any of the arm balances or not, or you fall or whatever, right? We just feel our bodies. We have the experience of attempting, and maybe we do it and maybe we don't, but it's not about that. It's like challenging yourself. We succeed, we don't succeed, it's all good. Lengthen forward, inhale. Hook the elbow outside the knee, exhale. Maybe you use your hand on your thigh to just get a little bit more leverage with that bottom elbow. Pressing through the palms. Try and get your ribs away from your thigh. Right, lifting, breathing. Use your breath. Open the arms. See if your right hand will come to the floor. The left arm can reach straight up. Breathe. Breathe some more. And then maybe Ekapada, Kundinasana A. Hands come down. Lean over. Ta-da. Maybe you just kind of, right? It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't matter. Maybe you need a breath or two in child's pose. Maybe you want to chaturanga, do all that, downward facing dog, it's all good. Take a couple of breaths. Right? I'm going to take a breath, have a moment. I have these like funny like hole pants, and it kind of got my arm. Okay, on that last one. Back to downward facing dog. How are we doing? We're doing awesome. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Stretching back. Get long, take an inhale. Exhale. Lift the heels, bend the knees, walk, float. Feet to hands. Lift up halfway and fold back down. And one more chair pose. Because why not? And rise and release. Okay. All right, so it's time to practice something upside down if you're not too tired. Now, feel free to take the next couple of minutes to put your legs up if you don't want to do something a little more active. Feel free, though, to come to the wall, and I'll show you a couple of things you can try here. You know, I'm not sure who's going to be watching this down the road eventually, but there's lots of ways to work out inversions without actually going upside down. And one is you're on your feet, you put your hands on the wall, and you try and make it L shape. So you'll just come to any wall. You want about your hip crease high with your hands. Hands come out. Okay, sorry about the butt, but that's what's going to happen right now. And you're here. But the idea is that you're making the L shape so that your hips are over your heels and your torso is a nice long line, your hands hip high. Now, if all that feels good, you're hugging the ribs in, everything's working, you can try hands on the floor. So in this case, you want about your legs distance away from the wall, and your hands go on the floor. Again, shoulder distance. Almost always, I can't say always, but almost always, when we're putting our weight in our hands, we're going to have them shoulder distance apart. So, certainly true for this. Shoulder distance, kind of like down dog, right? You're sort of doing a bit of a down dog towards the wall. And then you pick one foot up onto the wall, root into the hands, push your hands right into the floor and your shoulders towards the wall, and you come into the L shape here. And, you know, maybe lifting one foot up, but really push into the wall with your other foot, right? Push into the wall and pick your foot up, maybe, right? And if all that goes really well, feel free to turn around, plant your hands, and kick yourself up into a handstand, right? It's fun. If that's easy, you can always play with from your down dog. Right, look forward. Can you jump up with both feet? That's a fun game to play, right? Pretend you're a frog and let your knees bend and pull in towards you, right? Your thighs heavy forward, right? And let your legs help your hips move over your shoulders. So play with that for a couple more minutes. If you're getting up into the handstand, try and hold it up there for a little bit, right? Once you're there, and I'll jump up with both feet, right? Once you're there, hold it there, right? Lengthen the tailbone, press through your hands. Maybe you could even find some balancing for a minute or two. A minute, a second or two, right? Balancing away from the wall. Yeah. You don't have to be super far away from the wall, but just see if maybe you can catch some air and hold yourself there. It's fine to also play with Pincha Mayurasana, which is down on your forearms. We're not going to do this for too much longer, but you know, I don't really recommend a headstand until you're really confident being upside down. Headstand kind of seems like the entry-level thing to do because your head's on the floor and all of that, but actually you're putting a lot of pressure on your neck, your cervical spine, which isn't really built for that. So we want to make sure that we have sufficient strength in our necks, our shoulders, our backs, our arms, all of that, to safely support our weight with our arms, yeah, but also, you know, on your head. So if you haven't had headstand training, like in person with the teacher in a class, I'm going to say I wouldn't recommend you doing that right now. Any of those variations, and you know, if you're comfortable playing with upside down things, you can also play with Pincha Mayurasana. We're going to wrap this up in just a second here, but on your forearms. So again, we want shoulder distance apart, right? Hands shoulder distance. Let me pull back on the mat. Hands shoulder distance, elbows shoulder distance, right? Lifting up into dolphin, and then maybe you kick up. Ooh, there we go. Into Pincha. And you can balance here. Or using the wall, of course, right? We're trying to get the shoulders over the elbows, right? Breathe. It's fun. When you need to come down, you'll come down. If you need to rest, you'll rest. Right, take a few breaths. I love upside down time. So even if you're doing Viparita Karani and you're lying on your back and you're putting your legs up, inversions are great. And especially now when we really want to stay healthy and keep our immune systems happy and strong, this is a great time for getting upside down, even in a low-key way by putting your legs up. Upside down time. Okay, so let's do a couple rounds of back bends. Let's do bridge pose. If you know how to do Urdhva Dhanurasana, you know, it's fine, but let's just kind of ease our way. All right, so on your back, knees bent, feet flat, right? Heels relatively close. We're trying to stack the knees over the ankles. Lift your hips, interlace, tuck, tuck. Oh my goodness. Right, open the chest. Open the chest. Use your shoulder blades. Try and get your pinkies down onto the floor. Right, drive your shoulder blades into the back ribs. Right, okay. Slowly come down. Take a couple breaths on the floor. Right, and then we're gonna do 2 more back bends. So, do bridge pose if this is what you're familiar with. And it feels good in your body, right? Or even if it feels a little bit challenging, great. You know, I say work with that. Breathe. If you know Urdhva, or if you feel comfortable trying, don't push too hard. Don't try and force it. We're just going to take it baby steps, one step at a time. So either coming back up into bridge, lengthening the tailbone, do the opposite interlace, or planting the palms by your ears, right? One step at a time. Hug the elbows in. Lift the hips, pop up onto the top of your head. Get your hands in the right spot. Hug the elbows in, puff your chest, and let's straighten the arms. Oh. Right, and we come up into Urdhva maybe. Right, you don't have to, obviously. You must. Right, back down as you're ready. So while you're up there, take a couple breaths resting. I want you to do it one more time. So whether you're doing bridge or Urdhva, come up one more time, plant your hands, or, you know, your hands will be underneath you. Opposite interlace again. Come on up into your back bend. And then while you're there, see if you can even out the curve along the spine, or at least even out the sensation of the curve. It doesn't have to be like perfectly geometrically, you know, even, but get a sense of like, evening out the curve, right? So you don't feel like one particular spot is doing everything, but try and get especially the rib part of your spine, all of that to engage and curve. And if you're still up, take one more breath and then come on down, all the way down. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze. Rocking softly side to side. That's nice. Okay. Well, I feel like doing a lying down twist, so since I'm running this thing, that's what we're going to do. Let's keep the right knee hugged in, send the left leg long. And we're going to bring the right knee across the body. Right now, you have a couple of options here. You can prop your knee with, what do you have handy, like a pillow, or you know, maybe that's the book or the block that you were using earlier. You can straighten your leg. If it's possible to hook the pinky edge of your foot, you can go ahead and do that. Right? Reach out through the left arm. I'm sorry, your left hand is grabbing your right foot. You're reaching out through your right arm. Gaze turning towards the right. Right, and relax here. Take a few breaths and try and soften. Letting the body start to relax. Take another breath here. And then slowly, gently unravel it. Come back through center, straighten yourself out. And then let's do the same thing going the other way. So we'll bring the left knee in, send the right leg long. And then left knee across and over to the right. Reach out through the left arm. Grabbing the foot, or doing, what did you do on the first side? Is it possible to recreate that on this side without forcing it? Right, so just see what feels good. We like to try and do the same thing side to side, of course, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be able to, right? And we can really appreciate the difference side to side, right? As we do these kinds of twists and things, you know, we notice, oh, this side has more range of motion, or this side feels more stable, or, you know, whatever it might be. I'm touching my face so much, I realize right now, but next time I'll put my hair up. All right, gently unravel this. Come back to center. Okay, hug those knees. Little squeeze, bit of rocking side to side, just because that feels nice. All right, let's come up to sit. So you can roll forward and back, or you can roll to one side and press yourself up. Okay, so let's sit tall in Dandasana, and we'll forward fold into Paschimottanasana. So legs nice and strong, straight. Right, heels on the floor. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward, out into the fold. So grabbing your feet if you can reach them, or if you have a belt or a strap or something you can put around your feet to help you reach. Inhale, lift the chest, widen the collarbones. Exhale, fold. Right, lengthen out. Breathe here. Pressing the thigh bones down, the legs stay a little active, right? Lengthening out towards your toes. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, the rest of the way. Okay, let's go Upavishta. So we'll open the legs out wide. A lot of people are tight here. So you can decide what wide means to you, right? It's wide angle pose, or kind of like spread angle. So, you know, you'll have to feel that out. We want to feel the stretch. Keep your legs neutral, is that, I don't know, the toes pointing up, let's say it that way. Relatively active, right? We want to kind of maintain that. And then we just lean forward, right? Trying to come into the stretch a little bit more. It's not about getting closer to the floor or getting your head to the floor or anything like that. It's about finding this stretch and breathing into it. Finding the edge, right? So you lean forward and you go, okay, that's my edge. Perfect. Breathe. All right, breathe. Relax your shoulders. Notice if there's tension in your jaw. Soften your jaw. And then maybe you can lean a little bit more forward. Maybe you can't. Again, it doesn't matter. The point is to find a good stretch and just lean into it a little bit. Breathe into it. Try and just be with it. Right? The practice really helps us to feel discomfort, because this sensation of stretch can, oftentimes feel like, oh, I don't know about that. Right? But we can breathe into it and realize that, hey, it's okay. Right? So we get uncomfortable feelings. We have a lot of stressy stuff going on in the world, and it brings up uncomfortable feelings, but we know from our yoga practice, right, that we can breathe and use our breath, and it'll help get us through that, So use your breath. Practice right now using your breath to just calm, right? Calm, long exhales. So useful. One more breath here. All right, slowly come up. Slowly come up. We're going to hook the knees and just scoop it in. All right, so just for fun, float your feet up off the floor. So maybe hooking the big toes if you can. You don't necessarily have to hook your big toes. You can hold your ankles, you can hold your calves, the backs of your knees even, whatever works. But we're going to balance just a little bit of core work, just one last little thing. Reach the right leg up. And just steady balance, right? Yeah. Bring that heel in, and the left leg out. Reach through the heel, hug the belly back, balance. Bring it in. So do a couple more times on each side. Right up, and bring it in. And reach the left leg. Yeah, and bring it in. And one more time on each side, right. And in, left. Yes. And in, okay, the piece de resistance, both. Wow. balance. All right, if you have the space, right, if you have a clear zone behind you, consider rolling back and coming back up. So back and back up. Oops, back and back up. Oh, my foot. Hold on, back and back up. Back up. Oh, there. Sometimes it just doesn't want to happen. All right, come on down. Okay, let's stretch our hips, shall we? I'm going to turn sideways so I have a little bit more of a cushion. We'll do a single pigeon, unless this doesn't work for you, in which case you can do a thread the needle or whatever sort of hip stretch makes sense for your body. So, one leg back. Let's take a moment and just breathe into this stretch at the front. Right, feel that. And then fold in. I know, we did this yesterday. It's just such a nice stretch. See if you can take a few breaths here and really start to soften, start to let go, start to relax and release. And even though it's just me here, I'm going to dim these lights a little bit. You know, symbolic. There we go. Symbolic of us heading towards Shavasana time. Breathing into the stretch. Try not to lean too heavily into the front leg hip. Right, we actually want to kind of lean away from it a little bit so that we're more evenly distributed. You know, we're not just heavy onto one side, but we're really using both legs. Last couple of breaths here. All right, slowly walk your hands back. And if you like, you can take a down dog in between. Right, walking the back foot in. Swing the leg around a bit. Right, shake it out. You don't have to do down dog, of course. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the other leg forward. Walk the back foot back. Coming into your pigeon pose. Oh, right, the hip flexor stretch. If you like, stay lifted for a breath or two and just let your belly stretch, let the front of the hips stretch. Enjoy that. And then out into the fold. So this is a nice place to notice the difference between your two sides. Right, because one side usually feels different from the other, and this is one of those poses where it is especially noticeable. So again, use your breath. Right, the breath is really the key to so much, and really the bridge between the mind and the body, and just the key to calming things down. honestly, you can use your breath to ramp things up too, but I think we're ramped up enough. So like for our current times, right, the breath, the long exhale, right, the long exhale. Right, the long exhale triggers the parasympathetic, the rest, digest, right, that relaxation response. So take a few more breaths here. I'm going to give us a little soft music for Shavasana. Take the last couple of breaths. One big breath here, inhale. Sigh it out, exhale. And then slowly come on up. Right, and again, if you like down dog, you can swing the leg up and back and through your down dog and, shake it out. And then ultimately, that's it, guys. It's time to lie down. It's time to take Shavasana. So onto your backs. Hugging the knees, rocking a little side to side. I know it's tempting when you're at home to maybe just like give up on the whole thing now and like be done. But give yourself Shavasana time, like why not? Do happy baby. Right, we're all on some kind of weird vacation, so let's just use it, right? Use it. If you need to cover up, please do. I actually kind of feel like I want to put my sweatshirt back on because I got a little bit sweaty during all that. And now I feel a little chilly. So I'm going to put this on. I'm going to give you guys some music. How we do when we're in the studio. So let's have that. Here we go. Donna Delore, she's like a magical angel. Her voice is so beautiful. So we'll have her serenade our Shavasana for a few minutes here. So as you're ready, extending your legs, extending the arms, your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Melt your shoulder blades down your back. Legs heavy. Arms heavy. Let your whole body rest. Take a few minutes here in Shavasana. Take a breath or two there. And gently pressing the floor away. Let's come on up to seated. All right. Take a moment as you come to sit upright to just appreciate how you feel. Notice the effects of your practice. And bringing the hands to press at the heart and thumbs to the sternum. Let's close our practice by joining our breath and our voices one more time in a single Om. Exhale, emptying the breath. Take an inhale. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, bow your chin. Grateful that we have this practice. Grateful that we have the time, the ability, the opportunity to practice. You can pick one other thing that you're grateful for. Even in these crazy times, there's always things to be grateful for. We can be grateful even for these crazy times. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, everyone, and or any time that you're watching this. Namaste. So I would just like to say, if you enjoyed this, maybe sign into class or shoot me an email. We're also, maybe, people outside of the studio and all of this are watching this. If you want to just, contribute a little bit, help support our efforts as we kind of work through this crazy time. You can donate a couple bucks at our Venmo, which is at Prema Yoga on Venmo, and just like whatever you got, it's fine. I realize that a lot of us have a tough time right now, so if you can't afford to pay, it's here for you for free. No worries. Please watch and enjoy. And if you have a couple bucks to throw at it, that would be great too. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back here in the morning at 9. So more live streaming.